Congrats. All of you. Seems old Micah was pretty close with Milton.
What the hell are you talking about, cowpoke?
You talked.
That's a goddamn lie.
Dutch.
Dutch, think of the future.
Milton told me.
And you believe him, Black Lung? You believe him?
It all makes sense now.
No, it damn well doesn't.
This is probably the only time that I will ever agree with Micah Bell. Now, I want to make this clear. I'm not saying indefinitely that Micah Bell isn't the Van der Linde traitor. In fact, there's a very high chance that Micah Bell is the Van der Linde traitor. He's a bit of a scumbag. He seems to do what he wants and the best for him. But, given the information we're given that Micah Bell is the traitor, am I the only one who realizes that it just doesn't make any sense? The matter of the fact is that we really don't have any proof whatsoever that anyone else is the traitor apart from Micah Bell and Molly O'Shea. Molly O'Shea admits that, but then her name is cleared up when Milton tells us that she's not the traitor. And what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to play the clip that shows that Molly O'Shea is innocent and that Micah Bell is the guilty one.
Okay, ladies, let's get out of here.
Calm down, Mr. Morgan. That's quite a cough.
Sure. Tuberculosis. I'll be dead soon. And you with me, Mr. Milton.
You'll be dead, sure. But I'm gonna be just fine. We offered you a deal, Mr. Morgan. You should have taken it.
I'm a fool, Mr. Milton.
Not all you boys have quite so many scruples. Old Micah Bell,
Micah, you mean Molly?
Molly O'Shea, sweated her a couple of times, never talked a word, had to let her go. Micah Bell, we picked him up when you boys came back from the Caribbean, and he's been a good boy ever since.
Okay. Okay.
So this seems like indefinite proof that the fact is Micah Bell is the bad guy, he's the traitor, we should kill him, right? Well, I mean, if you just look at that argument, there's 3 points that really make me question exactly what Agent Milton was exactly saying. Let's start with the obvious one that I think a few people have picked up, but again, I've not really seen anyone talk about, and that's the timeline of events. Now, on screen is going to be a bit of a visual representation that will give me a hand with this one. Here are all the missions that went to crap. Obviously, the two big ones being the Blackwater heist and the heist at St. Denis Bank. So they're the two that go badly. The worst, obviously, there's a lot of bad ones there. There's a few that like are questionably set up, but there's obviously just the big two that are there. Obviously, the boat job was Micah Bell's idea. I will obviously point that out, but you know, I still don't think that that's indefinite proof. And obviously, it's very, very clear that the St. Denis Bank was a setup. There's no doubt about that, in my opinion. I've seen some theories saying that obviously just because St. Denis is pink as an area, that it's so easy for them to detect, but I don't know, I still think that this is a setup. It's even pointed out as a setup by multiple people, so I'm going to say 100% that the St. Denis Bank job was actually a setup. Now, if you look at the missions that happen after the gang come from Guarma, there's not really any big mission that goes to crap, quite frankly. There's a few that obviously you have big shootouts, but the entire story after that is about something completely different. That raises the question, if Micah Bell was the one and only traitor, what happened with the previous jobs? There's no doubt that these two big missions were setups. There's absolutely no question about it. Well, I mean, there are some questions about the St. Denis one, but I still 100% sure that that was a setup. So if Micah Bell is the traitor, and he was only picked up after Guarma, so after the St. Denis Bank job, after the Blackwater boat heist, how is he the traitor? That doesn't make any sense. And this would make a lot more sense if it was Micah Bell and Molly O'Shea as the two traitors. That would make a huge amount of sense. But that gets me on to point number 2. Molly O'Shea is innocent? Now, I can't believe that this would make so much sense if Molly O'Shea was also the traitor. But the fact is that Milton says that Molly O'Shea isn't the traitor. That's where I think things get a bit questionable for me, in my opinion. Now, I think one thing you have to consider is obviously Molly O'Shea does admit that she is the Vandal and traitor before being killed, and that could just be argued off as she desperately wants attention from Dutch van der Linde, and she's willing to do anything to get it. But let's just think about this for a second logically. Yes, she's drunk. Yes, she's drunk. Yes, she's a bit crazy. But you can see her getting hit by Karen. Most people don't want to talk to her. Most people just sort of shoo her aside. That is another huge point that just doesn't make sense to me. If Molly O'Shea is innocent, why in the world would she confess that she's the bad guy? And I think there's a third huge point that we need to take into consideration, that this is a point that I don't see anyone talk about, and that's the fact is that number 3, can we trust Agent Milton? Agent Milton's entire role in Red Dead Redemption 2 is to basically kill Dutch, ruin the Van der Linde gang, just destroy everything that you have been working towards or the gang has been working towards. So why in the world is everyone just so, oh okay, let's listen to Agent Milton, let's understand everything he's saying and just completely agree with it? I mean, am I the only one who thinks that's just a bit like jumping the gun? Micah Bell is not a great person. One person tells us he's the traitor and everyone just assumes that is the truth. No one questions it. No one whatsoever questions it, and I don't understand why. I have my own little conspiracy theory behind it, that obviously he hasn't killed Abigail and probably won't kill Sadie either. Maybe he didn't even plan to kill Arthur at this point. Maybe he's expecting the gang to be saved, they will get free with that information, and they will go back and blow up the entire gang, which is exactly what happens. His whole role in this game is to destroy the Van der Linde gang. So planting that seed of doubt in a character that is slightly believably a bad guy, that makes a hell lot of sense. To me, at least. Because if you think about it, that he doesn't know John's dead. John's obviously Abigail's quote-unquote husband at that point. I know they're not officially married, but they are together, and obviously John has Abigail's daughter. This is something that Agent Milton will know. So obviously he's going to want to save him, if obviously John is still alive, which at that point he didn't know is the case. So he's expecting at least Abigail to get saved. He would have captured Arthur Morgan, someone would have saved the crew, those 3 would have been like, right, it's Micah, let's go kill Micah. The whole gang blows up, because obviously Dutch and Micah are very close at this point. And what happens. The entire gang blows up, heads up into their own place. Bill Williamson gets his own gang. John goes to his own ranch with Uncle, Abigail and Jack. Arthur dies. Dutch is presumed dead shortly after in a bank robbery. Everything that Agent Milton wanted happened. Or at least presumed. I mean, I don't know that. Again, this is all coming from just speculation from my side of things, but we can't blame Agent Milton for just lying. I mean, why in the world are we trusting Agent Milton in the first place? Guy's a dick. And I think there's something that really needs to be taken into consideration as well, is that Micah never actually admits he's the Blackwater traitor. He denies it in front of the gang, that's fair enough, that's acceptable, but even when it's just Arthur and Micah at the top of the, well, wherever they're fighting, either on the top of the mountain or in the gang, when Arthur's screaming, obviously, you're a rat, you're a traitor, the closest thing we get to a confession is the fact that he says something like, I'm a survivor, living or dying, that's all there is. Is that really a confession? Because you could say, I could actually believe that as a confession, like, I'm just doing what I need to do to survive. But at the same time, you could see it as he's just saying, all I've done is try to survive. All I've done is live or die, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, there's a lot of points that I think really most people are overlooking. If it was from the start of the game, no questions. If it was Molly O'Shea and Micah Bell, no questions. But if Molly O'Shea is innocent, and Micah Bell is the entire Van der Linde traitor, then how did the heist before Guam happen? How did they all get set up? There's a lot of questions that really seem unanswered, but that's my really 2 cents of it. I just wanted to say that maybe Micah Bell isn't the Blackwater traitor. Maybe Micah Bell isn't the Van der Linde traitor. I'm going to be honest, I don't think he is. It doesn't make sense with the information that we're given. You know, I've seen people say that he's the Van der Linde traitor because he's only just joined the gang, but Lenny's only just joined the gang and Charles has only just joined the gang, so it could be either of them. Absolutely is no doubt that there is a traitor in the gang. No question. But for me, it's not Micah. It's Molly O'Shea. Molly O'Shea makes the most sense. She gets treated like crap the most. She's hated by most of the gang apart from really Dutch. And then obviously she's just mad at this situation that obviously Dutch doesn't care as much as she cares about him. So she's willing to sort of betray him just to get his attention. That would make more sense than the information we're given. And yeah, that's my, like I said, that's my quote-unquote theory of the day. Let me know what you guys think. I think it has a lot to stand on. Obviously, this could just be me rambling about anything I want to ramble about, but I really don't think that Vandal and Traitor is Micah. I really, really don't. Maybe there's a key piece of information I'm missing with all of this, and if that's the case, please let me know, because I'd absolutely love to keep this discussion going. That being said, my name is Havenand. Thank you guys for watching, and I have maybe another Red Dead video or two coming out. Who knows? We'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.